All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. We're back with more of the Umbrella Academy Season 1. We are up to Episode 6. It is called The Day That Wasn't. And full spoilers if you have not seen this episode. So, coming off of the last episode where I said was a pretty high watershed mark, this episode is not quite as good, I think, as the last episode, but it's still pretty damn good. Especially like the last 10 minutes of this. So I guess I was right. The briefcase did just drop him literally straight into Vietnam. I really like that stuff with Klaus, giving his character much more depth. Something that none of the other people even know happened to him. You know, this is something he's carrying by himself. I love the use of the doors as Soul Kitchen here. That's really cool. And it's cool to see like this kind of relationship happen in this way. This person that, you know, like you drop Klaus in the middle of a war, it should be the worst thing in the world for him, and somehow he finds something that he cares about more than himself, and then it gets taken away, and it's just gives his character so much more. The fact that I love the fact that the rest of them don't know yet, like what he's actually experienced, except for Diego later on. And so that's really all Klaus has, but it's a lot. It's a good chunk of this. And him trying to get sober, and then seeing Dave, the ghost of Dave at the end. As far as Leonard is concerned, okay, so he's something I actually really want to talk about here. And that's the varying degrees. So yeah, he's really, if he's not a bad guy now, then it's a serious case of like one of those almost parodies of like when they catch somebody and that person like can explain everything in just these really contrived ways, you know, where everything is just a coincidence or something. If that's what happens here, where this guy is just coincidentally just making himself look really bad, we just apparently don't know the context of everything, and then when it's all revealed, it'll be like, oh. But I still think that if anything, if he is the bad guy, which he very well could be, they didn't really do a good job of hiding it, and that kind of bums me out. That being said, what I really like about this for myself was thinking, who is this guy? And I was thinking, I think I might have said something about it in episode 1. The review for that, I think I said, what about all the other kids? And it just hit me that this guy would be about that age, right? I think he's one of the 43. I don't know what his motivations are, but like I said, if you ever run into some of them, you never know what kind of powers they have, and you also don't know what kind of people they're going to be. So I'm thinking this is pretty, I'm pretty confident in my thoughts that Leonard's another one of the kids. But Vanya hasn't seen it yet, and then we get to see more of her powers and everything, and him clearly trying to push her forward and everything. Him stealing one of the action figures leads me to believe that maybe he's jealous. You know, his whole pretending that he doesn't know what the Umbrella Academy was and all that. I think he might have taken that figure just kind of as a way to like say, I don't know. Maybe he's mad that he was never in it. I don't know if that's his whole thing. Now, we also have some great stuff with Hazel and Cha-Cha in this episode. Stuff that we don't even know, like how complicated it is until we see it all play out. First, let's talk about those tubes, those pneumatic tubes that just show up everywhere. That is so fucking cool. It makes me think of like something Philip K. Dick would think of, would have thought of. I like that Cha-Cha gets the message to kill Hazel. They do a whole Miller's Crossing, Coen Brothers style out in the woods. Even the result is kind of the same as that movie. I don't know if that was an homage to that movie or what, if it was just coincidental. Otherwise, that's what it made me think of. But how it turns around and Hazel convinces Cha-Cha not to kill him, but then she sees him with the donut waitress, and that makes her, I guess, feel betrayed, like maybe he's just staying for love or something. So she goes back to the hotel and kills what she thinks is killing him, and then she finds out that something that that Five did his thing in with the commission. So we should probably talk about that. So that's another really great part of this, is Kate Walsh introducing Five to the commission and how things go and how they manipulate history and all that stuff. And I still don't know why they've got it in their heads of what's the right timeline. I feel like that's very subjective, and whatever they know would have to be something from so far into the future, something so important into the future that everything else is pretty much unimportant. But I really like what they do here. I think it's really interesting. It's a very, maybe, it's like, makes me feel like 1940s, 1930s looking offices and movies. All the caseworkers working on one bit of history is crazy. We've got this person on the apocalypse. One person on the apocalypse, yeah. But what Five does here just is all really funny, except I love when Kate Walsh goes into the bathroom with him, basically letting him know, I'm not some dumbass. I know you're already up to something. We brought you in. It's probably, it was probably kind of like, we're glad that he's here, but it's also one of those keep our enemies close, kind of situations. But I love that scene where she's just peeing up a storm and just kind of laying it down like, hey man, without accusing him of anything, she's like, she knows. And then by the end of that episode, when she starts trying to kill him, and then he throws it. I just love this whole scene. He's so great here. And Five is so awesome. So is Kate Walsh, but he throws the hand grenade up and blows her up, presumably. And then when he is getting the briefcase together, and then just there's something about the way he threw the grenade in with the other briefcases almost as an afterthought that made me just really laugh out loud. I don't know why, but him just taking all the briefcases out, making sure that they can't get anywhere, jumps back through time at the same time that all these other events had happened. So it reverses everything that just kind of happened, which is fucked up and crazy and also really cool. Because in the middle of all that, what Five did is he saw that they were the name of the person that's going to cause the apocalypse, and then he decides to pit Hazel and Cha-Cha against each other, and then all that other stuff happens with him blowing everything up. And then in the midst of all that, everything going backwards, you've got Allison and Luther connecting over the fact that Luther finds out that his dad never opened any of the correspondence that he was giving him from the moon. And the stuff with Allison and Luther is cute, but really just filler to me. And then you have the Vanya stuff where she finds the book that has all her information in it. And then it all gets erased. So all these things are brought to light and then completely restarted back to Wednesday at 8:16 a.m. where Five comes smashing through the universe to tell them that they've only got 3 days to get their shit together. Again, just everything out of Five's mouth whenever he wants to be like cool is just fucking rad. Just his whole, I don't know what it is, man. I love Five. I need Five and Klaus a lot more. I need a lot more of them. So anyway, that's really it. If you guys have things to add, go ahead and add them in the comment section. I really dig this episode too. It is weird though that they all kind of split up and have kind of, by the end of that day, we're just kind of like, fuck it. But other than that, what else? No, that's it. So anyway, if you guys have anything else to add, put it in the comment section. Otherwise, if you did like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Otherwise, this is Robert Smirking Gun Review saying we'll be back later with another one of these in the next day or so. Otherwise, have a great night. Thanks for all the support, and we will see you next time.